right, Shalom, I'm back. All right, video cut out due to lack of space on the phone, but I'm gonna start back at verse 20. It says, and Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord Yahweh, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, the king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord Yahweh thy God in Gilgal. All right. And, pretty much Saul just threw it on the people. All right. He scapegoated, he used the people as a scapegoat. Okay. But the responsibility falls on him. All right. They call that accountability. All right. And, brothers, take heed. Okay. It's a huge lesson. Okay. And it's one thing that, Jake lacks: accountability. And being responsible for the deeds and actions. Now he is king over Israel. Okay, so the Lord set him as a leader. Okay, and ultimately he has the final say. Okay, and he should have hearkened diligently. All right, and the word Shemai, and discern what the Lord has said, the orders that the Lord has said, and kept his mind on that. All right. And I guess that's why we have him for an example of what not to do, and not to be unmindful. Okay. All right. And especially in these times, because there's going to be tests where, Jake has to pretty much take accountability and understand and discern what they need to do as far as the orders, and carefully look upon the orders, or and follow through. So verse 22, Samuel said, had the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord. All right. Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams. All right. So let's go to that word again. We can Shemai again, right? Here it says to hear intelligently. All right. Implication of attention, right? So you got to give attention to what's being said. All right. Because that's obedience. All right. Carefully. All right. Right. Certainly. All right. Consent, consider, be content, declare. Right. Diligently discern. Right. Give ear. Okay. And so that's what we have to learn to do. Okay. All right, let me see what it says in the NLT, because I want to. It says, but Samuel replied, what is more pleasing to the Lord? Okay, yeah, okay. Your burnt offerings and sacrifices, or your obedience to his voice? Listen, obedience is better than sacrifice, and submission is better than offering the fat of rams. That's right. Okay. All right. Here's another one. It says, verse 23, it says, for rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. So keep that in mind. Stubbornness, okay? All right? An ass is stubborn, okay? And we got more intellect than an ass or a donkey, right? Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord Yahweh, he hath also rejected thee from being king. You see? You say this dude can't listen. Well, how can he be king if he can't if he has no accountability? And when the endeavors that he's taken up, he holds himself not responsible. Let's look at this word, patazar, stubbornness, to press, push. Basically, you push against the spirit. To press, be insolent. All right, display, pushing, arrogance, presumption, presumption, right? Okay. So it says stun or dull, right? So you stunned or dull. When something's being said to you, it says press, urge, stubbornness. All right. All right. So that's it on that. But yeah, man. So obedience is better, okay, than to sacrifice. All right. All right. So this is Daniel 6:1. It says it pleased Darius to set over the kingdom 120 princes. Now we go into the example of Daniel and his obedience. Okay. It says which should be over the whole kingdom and over these three presidents, of whom Daniel was first. All right. That the princes might give accounts unto them, and the king should have no damage. Right. And Daniel, all right, had gotten favor from the Lord, and the Lord essentially put him in the neck of our enemies. You know, he wasn't the head, but he was one of the top guys. Okay. Why? Because of he pleased the Lord. Okay, Daniel 6:3. Then this Daniel was preferred above the presidents and princes because an excellent spirit was in him. All right, an excellent spirit was in him. One of the topics that we have for class was, can you be perfect? All right, and it was a counter to what IUIC had said. Or a member of IUIC said you can be made perfect through the law, and you can't. All right, and that would basically make the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai voided. You're gonna have to void the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai. All right, but through His sacrifice, we are made perfect. Okay, and He gives us the instructions on how to be perfect. But because an excellent spirit was in Him, right? So that topic we dealt with that. You know, can you be perfect? Yeah, you can be perfect in the spirit. You can be perfect in a man. All right, following the instructions of Yahweh Shai, being obedient to His will. All right, His instructions. Okay, because the keeping of the law is not going to save you. All right. So it says, and the king thought to set him over the whole realm. And then the presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they could find none occasion nor fault. Why? Because he was perfect before the Lord, right? And really because of his mindset. All right. You got to think about this. We are in captivity. Certain laws that we can't do while we're under the rule of Nebuchadnezzar. Okay. Okay. And this might have been, this is Darius, right? So, but overall, looking at the captivity of Israel under the Babylonians, so think about Daniel and his position. All right, he's just trying to, he's devout, he's faithful. All right, and he kept the commandments of the Lord. All right, in the sight of the heathen nations, which pressed upon their idols on us. All right, so they sought occasion against him because what? Because he was a perfect man. It says then presidents and princes sought to find occasion against Daniel concerning the kingdom, but they couldn't find none occasion nor fault, for as much as he was faithful. Oh, we had 8 minutes. Okay, or 9. It says, for as much as he was faithful, neither was there any error or fault found in him. All right. Then said these men, we shall not find any occasion against Daniel, except we find it against him concerning the law of his God. You see? See that? These conniving, scum of the earth, low life heathens. All right. So what they had to do, all right? They had to find something that would basically have Daniel go off in the law of Yahweh Shai, and that's what Esau does now. They bring occasion against us by trying to deter us from the power by, setting snares. They probably put pork in the food, um, of course, so that we may be defiled in the sight of the Lord. But the Lord is looking on the inner man, all right? And that's why it's important to perfect the inner man, right? It says, then these presidents and princes assembled together to the king and said thus unto him, King Darius, live forever. All the presidents of the kingdom, the governors and the princes, the counselors and the captains have consulted together to establish a royal statute and to make a firm decree that whosoever shall ask a petition of any god or man for 30 days, save of thee, O king, he shall be cast into the den of lions. You see? So now they think that they brought up the perfect situation to accuse Daniel. All right. Which, let's look what it says in the NLT. All right. Daniel 6:7, it says, we are all in agreement. We administrators, officials, high officers, advisors, and governors, that the king should make a law that will be strictly enforced. Give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except you, your majesty, will be thrown into the den of lions. See? And so they wanted to see Daniel destroyed, all right, mauled and torn apart. Okay? And think about how it applies to today. Our enemies want to see us torn apart, right? Daniel 6:8, it says, now, O king, establish the decree and sign the writing, that it be not changed according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which alter not. All right. Wherefore King Darius signed the writing and the decree. Now when Daniel knew that the writing was signed, he went into his house, and his windows being open in his chamber toward Jerusalem, he kneeled upon his knees 3 times a day and prayed and gave thanks before his God, as he did aforetime. Okay. So what are we seeing here? Daniel's devoutness in the sight of in the midst of danger. All right. I guess you could say, for lack of better words. Okay, because they conspired against him, and now what? The first thing he does is pray towards the east, towards Jerusalem. All right, and he probably ended, depending on where he was, he just turned towards Jerusalem, right? And so he's showing his faith, his faithfulness, okay, and his firmness in the Lord, despite them coming against him. All right. Verse 11, it says, then these men assembled and found Daniel praying and making supplication before his God. Then they came near and spake before the king concerning the king's decree. All right. Hast thou not signed a decree that every man that shall ask a petition of any god or man within 30 days, save of thee, O king, shall be cast in the den of lions? The king answered and said, the thing is true, according to the law of the Medes and Persians, which altereth not. Then answered they and said before the king, that Daniel, which is of the children of the captivity of Judah, regardeth not thee, O king, nor the decree that thou hast signed, but maketh his petition 3 times a day. So he prayed thrice a day. Okay. And so think about how they're going to come up against us, as far as this doctrine, the teaching that we have, because it's completely against the society, and what they deem as right. Okay. And then, of course, they're going to accuse us and try to bring us before, their magistrates and their top demons to overthrow our cause. All right, but pay attention. It says, verse 14, then the king, when he heard these words, was sore displeased with himself, and set his heart on Daniel to deliver him. And he labored till to the going down of the sun to deliver him. Then these men assembled unto the king, and said unto the king, know, O king, that the law of the Medes and Persians is that no decree nor statute which the king establishes may be changed. So damn, they put the king in the bind, right? So Darius had to, commit unto his own word. All right. Daniel 6:16, it said, then the king commanded, and they brought Daniel and cast him into the den of lions. Now the king spake and said unto Daniel, thy God whom thou servest continually, he will deliver thee. All right. And a stone was brought and laid upon the mouth of the den. All right, so they sealed them in. It says, and the king sealed it with his own signet and with the signet of his lords, that the purpose might not be changed concerning Daniel. Right? So even Daniel, he's a president, so he's one of the top guys. And Darius wanted to put him over the realm, over the whole realm. And then, it probably burdened, it seems like it burdened Darius, but he had to uphold his own law. Right? It says Daniel 6:18. Then the king went to his palace and passed the night fasting, neither were instruments of music brought before him, and his sleep went from him. Yeah, so he was deposed. All right. It says, then the king arose very early in the morning and went in haste unto the den of lions. And when he came to the den, he cried with a lamentable voice unto Daniel. And the king spake and said to Daniel, O Daniel, servant of the living God. See, even Darius knew, okay, that we serve a living power. All right. He says, servant of the living power is thy power, whom thou servest continually, able to deliver thee from the lions. Then said Daniel unto the king, O king, live forever. Imagine that. It says, my God hath sent his angels and have shut the lion's mouth, right? And that they have not hurt me, for as much as before him, innocency was found in me, and also before thee, O king, have I done no hurt. So innocence, and he was innocent. All right, innocency was found in him. All right, because he kept his integrity. He prayed to the Lord, despite hearing, these, or seeing these men come against him, and to make a petition against him, so that he could be cast into the lion's den. All right, or the den of lions. Okay. So integrity is key. Obedience is key. All right, and he hearkened unto the Lord. Okay. Despite what took place, it said, then was the king exceeding glad for him, and commanded that they should take Daniel up out of the den. So Daniel was taken up out of the den, and no manner of hurt was found upon him, because he believed in his God. And the king commanded, and they brought those men which accused Daniel, and they cast them into the den of lions. All right, them, their children, and their wives, and the lions had the mastery of them. Whoo! And break all their bones in pieces, or ever they came at the bottom of the den. Man, damn. And then King Darius wrote unto all people, nations, and languages that dwell in all the earth, peace be multiplied unto you. I make a decree that in every dominion of my kingdom men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. See, for he is the living God and steadfast forever, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. He delivered and rescued, and he worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in earth. Who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? Right. So Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. All right. I believe maybe Darius was a Mede, and I know that they made a clique with the Persians. So yeah. All right. So what do we learn from here? All right. That Daniel's obedience compared to Saul was quite different. All right, because though Daniel wasn't given an order or anything to do anything, but in a time of trouble, all right, what he did was go unto the Lord, and essentially he doubled down. He doubled down, and he 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 prayed thrice in one day. All right, prayed 3 times a day toward the Lord. All right. So he, in the moment, and in this moment, all right, he pretty much, all right, kept his integrity, all right, and he hearkened, okay, and it's much like, let's see that word Shemai, all right, for he didn't rebel, he didn't make haste, okay, he let's see, let's get Isaiah. He didn't make haste, all right, he stuck to what he knew, all right. Is it 28:16? Let's see. Yep, here we go. Isaiah 28:16. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. Right? That's Yahweh Shai, okay? That's the Son of the living power. He that believeth shall not make haste. And that's what Daniel believed. He didn't make haste. Okay? Let's see what the word haste is. Hebrew is chawash. We just looked this up. All right. It says what? To haste, make haste, hurry. All right. So he didn't get startled. He just stick to what he knew. You see, which Saul, he could have stuck to what he knew, which is just to obey the Lord. Right? But he didn't carefully discern what was being told him. You see, but Daniel, being wise, did. Okay. Right. So that's what we can take from Daniel. Like I said, this is raw. I just wanted to read 1 Samuel 15 and then Daniel 6. For the examples. But Daniel's obedience shows wonders, and wonderful work was done to get him out of that situation. All right, he stick to what he knew. He didn't make haste. Right. So read it again. Therefore, thus said the Lord, Yahweh power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone. And that's what Yahweh Shai is. All right, a sure foundation. That's what he is. Okay. And basically, he's the faith and belief in the Lord is an unmovable one. All right, a sturdy one. All right, he that believeth shall not make haste. All right, and that's what Daniel did. All right, he didn't make haste. So let's see here. That's pretty much it. Lord willing, this was edifying. Okay. All right. So let's see here. Here, let me see something. I'm gonna get one more precept. Sirach 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. Right? So your soul is going to be tempted. All right. Set thy heart right, constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble. This is what Daniel did, okay? All right. Because he discerned, all right. And this man, the first thing he did was go back to what he knew, which was what? To hearken unto the Lord. All right. Pray unto the Lord. Okay. And we're in the times that the Lord is hearing us, okay? It says, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy lives end. So that's what happened for Daniel. He was increased. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. Okay, for gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. All right, that's right. Okay, let's see. Right, so you're gonna be tried. See, believe in him, and he will help thee. All right, order thy way aright, and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy, and go not aside lest ye fall. Right, and that's right. So go not aside. So hearken diligently. All right, pay attention to what's being said. Keep your obedience. All right, because that's better than sacrificing. All right, and we know, uh, you know, what is that? Rebellion is a sin of witchcraft. So we don't want to rebel against the Lord. Let's see, trial of man is in his reasoning. It might come in, it might not. Yeah, what I know the scripture said, the trial of man is in his reasoning, and it's in the KJV. I mean, the Apocrypha. Hey, but Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, you know. And hopefully, you know, you can take from this and apply it, you know, to whatever you go through. You know, until next time, I say shalom.